video, I'm gonna try and help you understand battings, interfaces, and foams, and why you should use them. If you're new to sewing, these might be terms you've not heard. So if you sew together a piece of fabric, two pieces of fabric, it's gonna be pretty flimsy. It's not gonna hold its shape unless that's what you're going for. But if you are seeing cool projects like bags like this, and you're like, how do they get it to stay that shape? They're using batting, interfacings, or foams, or both. You can use them in combination. So that's what this video is going to discuss, is those different items. And there is a bunch out there. I have some as examples, but I don't have everything. So just know that you may see another type. It's okay. There's a reason for it. And all of them, they will give you a description on what they're supposed to be used for. Okay, the first thing I'm going to talk about is interfacing. It can come fusible or sewn in. And the difference is on the back of the fusible, it's going to be a different texture normally. Some of them do not, but it's going to be a different texture in that when heat is applied to it, heat and steam, it's going to release this adhesive, which is what this rough feeling is. And it's going to adhere to the back of your fabrics, making it a little bit stronger. So if you're making something and you want the fabric to be just a little bit tougher, hold up under pressure, that's when you're going to be using interfacing. There's 3 different sizes typically: lightweight, medium weight, and heavyweight. And they do exactly that. This one right here is a medium weight. If I used a heavyweight, it would be more stiff, kind of like cardstock. And if I used a lightweight, it would feel more like the natural fabric. So it just depends on what you're making and what you want to sew. The next thing is batting. This is very commonly used in quilts. This is what goes between the quilts to make it all snuggly and warm, gives it just a little bit more weight. And again, there's a bunch of different like thicknesses, types, materials. So it's just finding the one that fits the project that you are working on. The next thing is Fusible Fleece, which you can get it in fusible or unfusible. Again, one side typically sticky. There are some that are double-sided sticky. Same goes for the interfacing. Again, you just have to read the label, which it'll be either on this label, or if you're buying it in bulk, they have instructional labels where it details if it's both sides sticky, not if it's sewn in, what type that it is. But the fleeces, again, work great for like blankets, or if you're making wall hangings, or even just different bags. Another type of material is the foams, which the bag that I showed you, this one, I use the foams. And again, those can come in sticky or non-sticky. So one side adhesive, both sides adhesive. Reading sometimes the ends here will give you a description of what exactly that is used for, if it's got sticky sides on both or not. And then the last type that I'm going to talk about is Insulbright. This is great if you're making like pot holders or oven mittens, because they work to protect your hand. It's designed for handling hot objects. The biggest thing when deciding what to use is what ultimately your project is going to be used for. If you're making something where you want to keep a structure, that's where you're going to look at the foams or the fusible fleeces. If you want to enhance the strength of the fabric, that's where you're going to be using the interfacing. If you're working with making kitchen items, that's when you're going to be working with the Insulbright. Every project's different. Every need is different. Just take the time to read the packaging to figure out exactly what you are going to use it for. If you have questions or you want to run an idea by me, drop it in the comments and we can work out what would work best for the project that you're working with. Now let me show you how to actually use like interfacing. Okay, on an ironing board, I have the interfacing down, so the smooth side is on the bottom. I can feel the bumpy side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wrong side of the fabric, so that's the pretty side, that's the wrong side, and I'm going to lay it directly on top of the interfacing. And then gently with an iron, that has steam. You do want steam. Hold on. My steam is not cooperating. There it is. There it is. You want steam. So yes, this isn't a project I would have an 8-year-old do, but you're gonna go over all of the fabric, smoothing it down. And this, the steam and the heat will adhere the two pieces together and make them one. Is it the greatest connection between the fabric and the interfacing? No, but it is enough that you will see a difference, you will feel a difference, and you'll be able to do a little bit more structuring with projects that you make. And be patient. It's not something that you need to just hurry up and do. Give it time, let the heat and everything sink in, and then you'll see, like right here, I'm gonna pick it up, and the two pieces stay together. Like you can even see on this one, you can see the fabric below. Just to give it a little bit of oomph on its adhesiveness, flip it over and do the back side as well. And just do the entire surface again. But know that if you are attaching interfacing and you have, let's say you had them backwards and you flip it over and you put your iron on, it is gonna gunk up your iron. So you do want to pay attention to which side is which. And you just don't want a gunky iron. It's just not fun. So that is one reason that I tend to keep my interfacing on the bolt, because some of them, especially the lightweight, can get a little bit more challenging to figure out which side is the smooth side and which side is the not smooth side, the sticky side. So I have both ends done. It's ready to go. I'm gonna make the fabric basket project with this, and you'll be able to see the difference between one with non-interfacing and one with interfacing. Okay, as promised, here is a fabric basket with the interfacing, and here is one without. So they both have the structure, they both are sound, they both work. This one's just a little bit smoother all the way around, a little bit firmer, and will hold its shape a little bit better than this one. Now this one still works with no interfacing, but this one is just a little bit tougher. So if you want to strengthen a project, or if you just want to make it hold its form a little bit better, consider using interfacing. If I would have used a heavyweight, this would be a lot tougher and would be harder to smush down. And if I used a lighter weight one, it would be closer to this, but you would feel just a little bit more in the structure. So if you have any questions, let me know, and don't be afraid to add interfacing or fusible fleece or batting or any of those materials to your project, just to make it just a little bit more finished. I hope you had so much fun and you've learned a lot from this information. If you would like to get the full project with fabric, instructions, pattern, and everything mailed right to you, check out the link in the description where you can purchase already put together project kits that are perfect to start you on your sewing journey.